Hey everybody, Dr. Nick here with another minute tip for our parenting tip number two. Recently, and actually many times, I've talked to parents who have said, I've given my kid instructions if somebody bothers them, that it's okay to retaliate. In other words, if somebody hits them, they should hit the other kid back. If a kid calls them a name, they should retaliate and call that kid a name similarly. And now, certainly, I understand these are your babies, these are your kids, and you send them off into the world. You don't want to send them off without any, tools or out any, for lack of a better term, weapons. And I mean that in a verbal kind of a way, not literal kind of a way. So sometimes we just say, "Oh, I don't want anybody picking on my kid. My kid's a good kid, so I'm going to tell them to, not take it." And I agree. They shouldn't take getting picked on. They shouldn't uh, allow themselves to be hit. No one should hit your child, or no one should be getting hit at all, right? Um, but I remember several times talking to parents who told me this, and I have to say, and again, just like I'm saying now, I understand. These are your babies. You want them to be taken care of. You don't want anyone to hurt them, physically, certainly, and not even emotionally with some of the unkind words that we hear. But I have to say, when talking to a parent who's telling me this, if your child retaliates, that's probably not going to get the result that you want. Um, Feel free to disagree if you'd like. I understand that. And again, when we're talking about, especially if our kids are having a hard time, um, but it may be a better result, a little bit better than them just taking it and not saying anything back, but it's ultimately not going to get really the best result that we want. So we have to figure out another way. And every case is a little bit different. There are some commonalities, but every case is a little bit different. So we can talk about some tools to have. Ideally, your kids will be around if you're there at school, an adult nearby, or if they're at a camp or a Boy Scout or Girl Scout meeting. There'll be an adult there. And if the situation gets so bad that they need to get that adult to help them, they need to get that adult's attention so that adult can intervene. There's some tools they can try ahead of time, like, words, don't mean anything to me. You can't say any word that's going to, make me feel bad about myself. Ultimately, we want to elevate their self-esteem so that those things don't hurt them. Now, physical, if someone's pushing them around, that's a little bit different. We definitely want to get an adult involved right away. And I'm talking about for kids, from kindergarten age, up through high school. Um, we definitely, don't want them to take any hits or violence on them. Sometimes they have to, push back and get out of the way. It's not bad to walk away from a fight. But there are a lot of things we can do. But ultimately, my message here is retaliation doesn't typically get the results we want. Um, there are many people who say, uh, repay, anger with kindness. And I think that does work well, but it does that there's a fine line there. You want to be able to have self-esteem so that your unkindness or your meanness didn't hurt me at all. I'm so ahead of that, and I can still be nice to you because you haven't hurt me whatsoever. Um, you've got my information there on how to reach me. Parentingmadepeaceful@gmail.com. If you want to talk about this more with some more specific situations. But retaliation seems like the way to go at sometimes. But again, I've been doing this for over like 3 decades. It's not going to get us the results that we want. So that's Dr. Nick's minute tip, parenting parenting tip number two. Keep the faith and hang in there.